Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. Welcome to another episode of The Great Exit. My name is Sayyid Talat Shah. With me is Malana Sayyid Raza Hussain Zaidi. Welcome to the show, Malana.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Last week we were looking at mismanagement of the Saudi government regarding the Hajj, and it's quite ironic that we were looking at this and talking about these things last week, that this week there's a major incident that's happened. Absolutely a horrific tragedy that's happened, resulting in 717 people who've died, the Hajjis who have actually died, and around 863 that have been injured. Now clearly, they're not telling us exactly, but the amount is going to go up. And it's horrendous to actually hear that this is the actual incident that's happened, and it's a second one this year. Because the first one, as we recapped last week, was that the crane itself, when it fell on, and around 111 Hajjis had died. So if you take both those in consideration, a second major incident this year. Now, a bit later on in the program, we will look at the previous history and other incidents that have happened. And it's amazing how similar thing keeps happening. If you look at back in 2006, around 360 people had died, and again it was in Mina, and it was a stampede just like this one with the 717 dying. It was a stampede in Mina. If you look back at 2004, it was roughly around 244 people had died, again in Mina, and it was a stampede. And I think the biggest one was back in 1990, where it was about 1990, yeah. It was about I think 1,420 or something around that figure. So it's amazing to say that the similar situation is happening. It's happening in the same vicinity, and it's a similar stampede, and people are dying. And we don't understand why isn't somebody learning from these type of mistakes and actually trying to save the people rather than them actually dying. So in particular, we're going to look at today this year's incident, this week's incident, and we're going to look and try and ask questions. Why did it happen? What was the cause behind it? And are there lessons to be learned again? And I know, Malana Sahab, you're quite passionate about this, and there's quite a bit of detail that we can actually go into looking at this. But I'm hoping before we begin, if we wanted to show our dear viewers a short clip video just to see the aspect of what was happening around that time. So if that video can be played at any second, appreciate that.
Yeah, and while they're playing the video, I think we could discuss how sad this incident was.
Yeah.
You mentioned about 718 or something.
Okay, I think the same video's on there.
Yeah, so we can
Okay,
go on
yeah.
talking. And I've heard lots of other TV channels report that there are roughly like about 2,000 people who have already died.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that thousands of people have died, not just in this stampede, not this year, like you rightly mentioned, like in 1999 there were about 1,500 people died at the same spot, at the same place, and at the same time. And then in 2006 I was there, and I witnessed it myself. You said about 360. At that particular moment, the Saudis were saying, and that roughly like about 560 people have died. And the eyewitnesses who had come from our group, they said that they had seen so many bodies lying there, and obviously they're not in a position to say that all of them had died or not.
Yeah.
But they made a rough guess, and they were saying that I think that at least 1,000 people might have died.
Yeah.
But anyways, the point is that it keeps on happening again and again.
Yeah.
And Hajj is not for just this year.
Yeah.
Hajj is for every year. And the people who are managing Hajj, and the people who are accommodating all of the Hujjaj from all over the world are the Saudis.
Yeah.
And the Saudi government is to be, I think, held responsible for the well-being of all of the Hujjaj, for the safety and the security of all of the Hujjaj. And if we, as Muslims from all over the world, if we ask the Saudis that you people are responsible.
Go ahead, you can play that as well.
Yeah, if we ask, the Saudis, if we ask them that you, for example, look at this. Now the video that you see over here, is some sort of a VIP. He's doing the tawaf, and as you can see, there are lots of army people there standing there.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not the way to do the tawaf. That's their way. They don't care about anything. I mean, Haram, Masjid al-Haram is a place where people come from all over the world for Hajj and Umrah, and the main concept of Hajj and Umrah is to Allah wants everybody to know that there is no difference between a king or a slave. Or the king or the master or whoever. Then all of them look alike because they're wearing an ihram, and there is no VIP or a special protocol should be there. If you're talking about Hajj or the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and even over there they're not even bothered about it, and let alone the spiritual side or religious side of it. There's so many people who could die, who could get injured, and they're not bothered. And the irony is that they're doing a religious thing, and they think that they'll be rewarded by Allah by doing this kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just surprised to see that it's almost like this attitude of them and us.
Yeah.
You're quite right when you're saying this, that Hajj is the experience where why are we wearing two pieces of cloth?
Yeah.
So that we look the same.
We same.
Detach who we are. So there should be kings there, presidents there, you could be businessmen there, but at that moment in time, you're all the same.
Yeah.
That's the focal point of us wearing the same thing and being there at the same time.
Yes.
But these type of clips do not show, for example, that they're the same. Now, coming back to the point where the incident happened, clearly you're going to talk about that in a bit more detail. It is sad for the similar reasons that there's a junction, and I think it was a 3-point junction, and two of the routes were closed, and I think
I'd like to before we get into that, okay. I'd like to explain in detail what kind of a thing with the system that's in place for the Hujjaj. Okay. You see, this year there were like about 1,900,000 Hujjaj, a quota from the Hujjaj that came from all over the world. Yeah. That was the complete figure that was given by the Saudi Ministry of Hajj.
Yeah.
And in the previous years, there were even more Hujjaj. Yeah. In 2012, you had something like 3 million Hujjaj.
Yeah. The maximum has been about just over 3.5.
Yes.
So compare that number to this number.
Yes. So, if you had 3 million Hujjaj and there was no stampede and everything went well in 2012, what was the reason? Why did everything went well? Exactly. Go well, sorry. And why did we have a stampede this year?
Yeah.
To understand that, I think we need to display the pictures that I'd asked them about Mina. Okay. If you see the Mina tents, the system that the Saudis have put in place is after 2006 when lots of people had died, and also in 90s when lots of people had died. There's a call coming, I think.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Your brother, your name and where you calling from? Your name and where you calling from?
मोहम्मद इब्राहिम
जी, आप उर्दू में बात करना चाहते हैं?
हाँ, उर्दू में बात करना चाहता हूँ
जी, फरमाएं।
हाँ जी, तो मैं बोलता हूँ कि हरम शरीफ का बहुत तर्जुम होता है, और ये अल्लाह ताला के काम होते हैं कि जब ये हो जाता है, ऐसे वाक़यात हो जाते हैं, ऐसे बहुत रस्में बदतर हो जाता है, इसमें किसी का कसूर नहीं होता।
सही।
हेलो
जी जी, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है भाईजान,
आप बात करें।
मैं इधर मताब में कई दफा गया हूँ, बहुत रश होता है, सऊदी का बहुत अच्छा इंतजाम होता है।
जी जी।
लेकिन लोगों को भी होशियार होना चाहिए कि ऐसे हजों में एहतियात करें।
जी जी,
ठीक है ना?
जी जी।
मैं भी मदीना मुनव्वरा में 83 में पाकिस्तान हाउस में भी रह चुका हूँ।
जी जी।
मेडिकल मिशन में मैंने काम किया पहले।
सही।
लेकिन पाकिस्तान के लिए चाहे अपने बंदों के लिए ऐसे पकड़ लोग जो तजुर्बाकार हो, मैं तकरीबन 8 दफा गया हूँ उधर।
सही सही। जी जी, ठीक है।
ये मतलब है कि इंतजाम उसका अच्छा होता है, लेकिन हमें भी एहतियात होना चाहिए कि अपनी तरफ से कुर्बानी करें। हज का बहुत रश होता है, लाखों लोग होते हैं।
जी हाँ, बहुत शुक्रिया आपके
آپ کے خیالات کا شکریہ.
Okay, Mohammed, thank you.
ہم انشاءاللہ حج کے بارے میں جو معلومات ہے انشاءاللہ ہمارے وقت تابعدار ہے.
بہت شکریہ, بہت شکریہ.
Okay, inshallah, we'll talk about your question in a minute. I think there's another call. Assalamu alaikum.
ہیلو
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
جی وعلیکم السلام, کیسے ہیں آپ؟
اللہ کا شکر. آپ اردو میں بات کرنا چاہتے ہیں؟
آپ کا نام؟
جی میں کیا انگلش میں بات کرنی ہے؟
جی جی, اگر انگلش میں ہو سکے کیونکہ فلٹ
آپ انگلش میں کرنا, اگر فلوئنٹ ہے انگلش میں تو انگلش میں کر لیجئے, نہیں تو اردو میں اگر کرنا چاہیں بسم اللہ.
I try. First of all, salam to Maulana.
وعلیکم السلام ورحمۃ اللہ.
Yeah, my name is Irfan Shah. I'm calling from London. And first of all, I want to say thanks to my uncle came from Holland, Sayyid Shaukat Naqvi, and he likes your Hadaya TV as much, very much. And condolences to those family they passed away during Hajj.
Yeah,
So,
thank you for that.
are the rule of Islam, those they passed away in Hajj, what we gonna call them? Martyrdom? Please.
Okay,
Yes.
so your question is what would we call those people who died? Yeah.
What is the condition to be a martyrdom? Are they in the same respect of martyrdom like our Aima alayhi salam, or they have a lower grade?
Right.
That's the first question I want to ask.
Okay, fine. Is there a second one, or is that the only question?
Yeah, that's the whole.
Okay, thank you very much, Irfan, for ringing. Okay, Khuda Hafiz.
Well, thank you very much for both of them.
Yeah.
پہلے تو جو اردو میں جو انہوں نے سوال کیا اس کے بارے میں جواب دینا چاہتا ہوں اردو میں ہی. آپ نے جو بھائی نے جو پاکستان ہاؤس میں بھی تھے 8 دفعہ وہاں پر گئے, اللہ کا شکر الحمدللہ, بہت اچھی بات ہے, اللہ اس کو قبول کرے. مجھ بندہ حقیر کو بھی اتفاق ہوا, اللہ تعالیٰ کی طرف سے توفیق ہوئی کہ میں بھی 8-10 دفعہ وہاں پر حج پہ گیا ہوں, اور میں نے گروپس کو دیکھا ہے کس طریقے سے مینیج ہوتے ہیں, اور اس کی مینجمنٹ کے اندر بھی میں رہتا تھا.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Can you please turn the volume of your TV down?
They've already put
Okay,
the
go ahead.
The line is cut, I think. So I was saying, اردو میں بات کر رہا تھا, تو مجھے بھی اتفاق ہوا ہے جانے کا, لیکن وہاں پر آپ کی بات ٹھیک ہے جو انہوں نے فرمایا کہ آپ نے جو فرمایا کہ وہاں پر انتظامات جو ہیں وہ سعودیہ کی طرف سے بہت اچھے ہوتے ہیں, لیکن لوگ وہاں پر اس قسم کے ہوتے ہیں کہ وہ احتیاط نہیں کرتے, جس کی وجہ سے حادثات ہو جاتے ہیں. میرے خیال میں ٹھیک ہے, لوگوں کو احتیاط, آپ کی بات ٹھیک ہے, آپ کا خیال اچھا ہے کہ لوگوں کو احتیاط کرنی چاہیے, لیکن انتظامات جہاں تک کا تعلق ہے, آپ فرما رہے ہیں کہ وہ اچھے ہوتے ہیں اور ٹھیک ہوتے ہیں, وہ آپ کی اوپینین ہے, لیکن اس پروگرام کے اندر انشاءاللہ میں وہی واضح کرنا چاہوں گا, کچھ فیکٹس بتانا چاہوں گا کہ شاید آپ کا اس کے طرف توجہ نہ ہو. آپ دیکھیے اس کو, پھر آپ اس کے بعد فیصلہ کیجئے گا کہ انتظامات سعودی عرب کے اچھے ہیں یا کیسے ہیں.
So okay, I'll just quickly say, so the first call, obviously Brother Muhammad said that it's nobody's fault really, and you know things like that happen and people do die. Yeah. Okay, I'll take this call. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
وعلیکم السلام. یہ آواز میں نے سنا, جو باتیں ہیں اس بات میں نہیں کیا ہوں.
Hello.
جی کیا فرما رہے ہیں آپ؟
ہلو
جی بولیے, کیا فرما رہے ہیں؟
اس نے اس کا جواب دے دیا, لیکن میں اس دفعہ گیا نہیں ہوں کہ ادھر حالات کیسے ہوں گے. یہ تو پاکستان میں ہوئی ابھی.
جی انشاءاللہ میں عرض کر رہا ہوں, آپ سنیے پروگرام. بہت شکریہ, آپ پروگرام سنیے, میں آپ کا جواب دے رہا ہوں ابھی. جی میں نے ابھی دیا نہیں, میں دے رہا ہوں جواب. شکریہ.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
وعلیکم السلام.
جی آپ اردو میں بات کرنا چاہیں گے؟
ہاں جی اردو میں.
جی فرمائیے گا.
یہ آپ کا نام کیا ہے؟
یہ جو ابھی آپ لوگ ٹیلی ویژن پہ بتایا جو اتنا پولیس کھڑا تھا نا,
جی
یہ جو طواف کر رہا تھا ایک شیخ تھا, پتہ نہیں کون تھا, یہ عام آدمی کی طرح طواف نہیں کر.
یہ سوال بات پوری نہیں کر سکے.
I think he's got cut off for a reason. Assalamu alaikum.
وعلیکم السلام.
So, yes, brother,
Hello.
your name and where you calling from?
Samir from Sheffield.
Okay, Samir from Sheffield. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Is that a comment or a question?
No, I just wanted to ask the speaker, the respectable the speaker, just a couple of questions, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
Mulana, you know, on
Yes.
the left-hand side. of
Yes,
the
please.
screen.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Of course.
Please. Go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, brother Samir. Go ahead. Ask.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
But I just had two questions I
Yes.
wanted to ask you
Yes.
regarding the misfortune which happened this year on Hajj
Yes.
pilgrim.
Yes.
The first part was to do with the crane which crashed down, and the second part was regarding the Arafat.
Yes.
Can you explain briefly to me what happened during the second event, and how can the Saudi government try to prevent these things happening in future?
Inshallah. I mean,
Yes, I will.
that's,
Thank you.
that's the basis of our program today, inshallah. We will definitely enlighten you on exactly what happened, why it happened, and future, obviously, how to avoid
Would I
it.
be able to talk to the speaker, you know, the
Yes, please.
the
Please.
Maulana? And-
Please. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
all right then. So he will answer then.
Yes, I will try to answer them. I'll try my best, sir. Yes,
Okay,
inshallah.
okay then.
Inshallah.
All right then. Okay,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Wa
Wa alaikum assalam. Well, we're not. Okay. Yes, so.
Sorry, I was just concluding in English. The first caller that said that obviously it's nobody's fault, and almost it's opinion of certain people that you expect certain deaths to happen during the Hajj, and it's just kind of following through the procedures. You know,
I'd like to respond to that in one sentence. You know, we have a huge event in Karbala.
Yeah.
And we have roughly like about 30 million people in a smaller place, smaller than Makkah.
Yeah.
There are no rules and regulations. People come, nobody dies.
Okay. I'll take this call. Assalamu alaikum.
Can I speak with them, please?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, brother. What's your name?
My name is Shafiq Khan. I am from India, staying in Saudi Arabia.
Shabir from India. Okay.
Shafiq Khan.
Shabir Khan.
Yes.
Go ahead, Shabir. What's your question?
Sir, actually, you know, shall I tell in Urdu?
जी जी उर्दू में बोलिए फरमाएं
हाँ, मैं उर्दू में ये बोलना चाह रहा हूँ भाई, मैं सऊदी अरेबिया में, मैं वैसे मेरा ताल्लुक हैदराबाद दक्कन इंडिया से है,
जी जी फरमाएं
और मैं जो है ये करीब 25 साल से सऊदी अरब में काम करता हूँ, सीनियर अकाउंटेंट में हूँ।
सही
सर, मैं जहाँ तक सऊदीया में देखा हूँ, मैं हकीमानन बोल रहा हूँ, अल्लाह का वास्ता देके, किसी मुल्क की मुझे तारीफ नहीं कर रही, अल्लाह की जवाबदेही है।
जी जी
और मैंने ये देखा है कि बहुत अच्छे इंतजाम होते हैं सऊदी अरेबिया में गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से, लेकिन हमारे पास जो इंडिया पाकिस्तान जो मुल्कों के आते हैं अवेयरनेस ही नहीं होता, दीनदारी बराबर हज और उम्रे के मसाइल समझ के नहीं आते और अपने आप को डिसिप्लिन में भी नहीं रखते।
सही
तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि हम इतना बड़ा फरीजा करने आते हैं, आप अपनी जबान में उसको सीखें, समझें, अमल करें, फिर एक फरीजा है ये, इसको समझें।
जी
तो बहरहाल मैं जहाँ तक मेरा अपना तजुर्बा है, ये मेरी शख्सी राय है, मैं जो महसूस किया हूँ, माशाल्लाह अच्छे इंतजाम होते हैं और मैं अप्रिशिएट करूंगा इनके इंतजाम को, लेकिन मैं अपनी अवेयरनेस की बात करना।
जी
बहरहाल आप लोगों ने मौका दिया, मैं इसके लिए शुक्रिया, जज़ाकल्लाह।
मैं आपका शुक्रगुजार हूँ, आपने टेलीफोन किया और शुक्रिया, आपके जो नज़रिया है उसका एहतराम मैं करता हूँ, आपने जो कुछ भी फरमाया मैं इसका जवाब देना चाहूँगा।
Okay, I think
Do you need to translate that in English?
Yeah, going back to the first one, it was mentioned that obviously it was nobody's fault. I think that is kind of linked to this one, where he's saying that people from different parts of the world and nationalities come, India, Bangladesh, and they really need to understand the language and the procedure. You know, again, a lot of emphasis has been on the national news that, you know, it was 2 million people, it was far too many people, and a lot of these countries don't understand the language. But, you know, what I'm saying is, what was the difference last year and the year before? Why is there a difference this year with the procedure? Not the understanding, because the Saudi government said the same thing.
And besides that, Talha Saab, you're talking about civilians from all over the world with different cultures, different languages, and you don't expect them to, to be people like from the armed forces who are like trained and like they're coming for Hajj. They should be trained like the army professionals. Well, you have to have some kind of a system. That's all we're demanding for the safety and the well-being of the Hujjaj. This sort of an incident shouldn't have happened. It is very sad. Well, anybody who's been there for at least even for once for Hajj would know that if you ask a question that could it have been avoided? And I don't think that 99% would say it could not have been avoided. Obviously, even the Saudis themselves, even the King of Saudi Arabia, King Salman, has come forward and he said that yes, we have, we could have done better.
We need to look at the procedures again.
You will need to look at the procedures. So
the audience,
it's from the highest level of Saudi Arabia.
The thing, the audience do not know what the cause of it is today.
Well,
that's why they're generalizing it first with these questions. I think at some point we'll need to go to that. But what I'm saying is, look, there's people all around the world coming. There are multi-nationalities. So at least, where are the signs? We speak to people there and they're saying that the signs are either in Arabic or English. So where is the procedure to allocate? Do you expect every single person to come to be aware, to be speaking Arabic, for example? It's difficult. And this is not even, we haven't even touched the issue here. There's so many other issues involved. For example, this year there was the lack number of soldiers that were around at the time, the police, and even the amount that was less experienced as well. I think a lot of the people are going to just generalize. I think we need to kind of point out this year why it was different.
Yeah, before we get into the issues, I'd like to finish what I was saying in the beginning of the program. About 2012, we had something like, the figures that we have from Saudi Arabia is like about 3 million Hujjaj performed Hajj that year.
Yeah,
that's the official figures. A lot more obviously come from Saudi Arabia and others who are not even allowed to. They're not given permission, tasrih, or any permission to perform Hajj, but they still go for Hajj. Anyway, having said that, you had a lot more people in 2012, and there was nothing happened. Why? After 2006, when the last incident of stampede occurred in 2006, before this year, they had built in Jamarat 5 floors. Yeah, and they had brought in a magnificent system to ensure that there is no stampede.
Yeah.
And what was the system? If we can bring in the pictures, if we can ask the studio to bring in the pictures, and I'd like to explain what the process was.
If the first picture is available.
You see, what you have to understand is that the people who come from from Mina, and they go towards Jamarat, it's in a straight line.
Yeah.
If you're from the Asian side or from the other side, if you're from the European side, then obviously you're towards the right side of the tents of the Asian sides. Like the Junub Asia. Now what happens is that each muallim. Now what is a muallim? I need to explain each and everything so people who haven't gone for Hajj understand what the system is. Muallim is the person who takes care of the Hujjaj. He provides the tents in Mina and Arafat for Hujjaj. So every muallim was instructed to hold all of the Hujjaj inside their tents, and they were given a specific time that they should not go before that specific time. And when that specific time used to come, the gates would open and they would be allowed to walk on the road that leads to Jamarat, the straight road that leads to Jamarat. Now the thing is that particular road, where does it go? It goes to one of the specific 5 floors of Jamarat.
Okay.
Right? When you're going on that road, you do not have a choice of choosing your floor. It will go specifically to that particular, designated floor that the.
Okay. So it's like a 5-story floor, and what you're saying is each group is designated at a particular time to go to a particular floor.
Yes.
Okay.
That's number 1.
Okay.
So that means that you're going there on the road, and you go and you reach the particular flow that you're meant to go through, and you have a specific time as well. And in that way, during that way, you're not allowed to sit anywhere.
Right.
The crowd is not allowed to stop anywhere, and to ensure that their force has been asked by it's called the civil defense by the Saudi Arabians. They used to have something like 60 to 70,000 people, 100,000, or lots of people who used to ensure from civil defense that the people don't stand in the way, don't sit anywhere. This crowd doesn't stop, and it keeps on moving, to keep the flow.
Okay.
And having said that, this particular lane where they've started from their tent would enter the Jamarat and exit after stoning, and they will not be allowed to come back to the same place, to the same lane that they're going. Then they would go on a different lane and then go back to their tent.
Right.
And even, I've been there lots of times, and I would see that even if one person was trying to violate that the system,
Yeah.
and he would want to, cross his row from one side, or the barricades that they have installed there, or the human chain that they have, if anybody wanted to violate that, one of the guys would run after them and get hold of them and make sure that he doesn't violate it and it goes on the same track.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So in that way, they used to make sure that stampede doesn't occur.
Okay. Right.
So now,
Yeah.
now you had a lot less people. You had roughly 2 million people, even less than 2 million people.
Yeah.
And what happened? People say that all of those people were sent to Yemen. The people from the forces who look after the Hujjaj, they were less than 25% were left to take care of the Hujjaj.
I think we've got a minute left for the break.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
sorry,
so
yes,
so
yeah.
I was saying that, so that's what it is. there are lots of questions that need to be asked. And we do deserve an answer
Yeah.
from the Saudi government. And what actually happened over there? Because what happened?
Yeah.
Did the system all completely collapse? What happened at that particular point? What caused the stampede? If you had such a perfect system there.
Yeah. Okay, viewers, we're coming up to a break, and hopefully after the break we'll shed a bit more light on what happened. So inshallah, until then, Khuda Hafiz.